When we think about a murder weapon, we default to the tangible objects, a smoking gun, a vial of arsenic, or a heavy iron candlestick. But there is a very different kind of threat to consider. Imagine a weapon made entirely of ink. This is the landscape of Robert Walker's Thorne and Lionus Cartographic Mysteries trilogy. Set against the lawless, rapidly shifting historical borders of early California and Nevada, these mysteries explore how the lines on a page can be deadlier than a blade. The core premise of the series is simple. Whoever controls the map controls the physical reality of the people living on it. A fraudulent map is a systemic weapon. It doesn't target a single victim. It deceives the entire societal structure that blindly trusts the gatekeepers who drew it. The heroes of this trilogy, Silas Thorne and Lionus, do not look for footprints in the mud or fingerprints on glass. Silas is a classically trained land surveyor. He measures the physical earth using a theodolite. A theodolite is a high-precision optical instrument used to measure horizontal and vertical angles between points. He uses rigid geometry to find discrepancies in the dirt. Lionus is a professional gambler. He ignores the geography entirely and maps human nature instead. He tracks power dynamics, social tells, and the invisible networks of influence that guide behavior. If they were investigating a modern office, Silas would demand the official organizational chart to analyze the rigid lines of authority. Lionus would map the office gossip to find out who actually drinks with the vice president on Friday nights. In this universe, true crimes hide in the friction, where the official mathematical map contradicts the social reality of human behavior. We see this friction in the first book, The Latitude of Lies. Silas arrives in the mountain town of Promise Creek to independently verify a gold claim. He immediately feels a spatial unease. He notices the shadows cast by buildings falling at the wrong angles for the time of day. Silas discovers the founder bribed a cartographer to rotate the town's baseline exactly 15 degrees clockwise on the official map. By swinging those coordinates, he legally erased a lush neighboring valley. The state map showed impassable granite where real gold actually existed. To protect this lie, the town's cartographer is found murdered, choked to death with fake, salted river gold. Salting is a deceptive practice where gold dust is scattered onto worthless land to trick an appraiser into thinking a claim is rich. Leaning in, this raises a question of logic. Why build an entire fake town just to hide a neighboring valley, instead of just filing a quiet claim on the real gold? In the disputed borderlands of the Sierras, a quiet claim would be easily overrun, but a thriving town with a post office and 200 citizens creates a cartographic fence. It builds bureaucratic inertia that the government is unlikely to overturn. Systemic fraud relies on the audacity of scale. If a lie is big enough to involve an entire town's infrastructure, people inherently accept it as the truth. Inside the cartographer's locked room, Silas uncovers the central mystery of the series. He measures the interior walls, compares them to the exterior footprint, and finds a hidden space built between the structural walls. Hidden in that void is a tarnished brass surveyor's marker. Stamped into the brass are the initials of his father, Silas Thorne, a master surveyor who disappeared into the California wilderness 20 years ago. This bearing, south 22 degrees west, establishes the first station in a hidden statewide traverse line. A traverse is a series of connected survey stations used to establish a network of positions across the landscape. Silas follows this trail through the next 2 books, encountering crimes that appear isolated, like an official moving ocean buoys 40 yards horizontally to wreck ships, or a clerk altering land deeds by microscopic minutes of arc. A minute of arc is an angular measurement equal to 1/60th of a degree, invisible to the naked eye, but massive on the ground. Silas Thorne used his disappearance to map a hidden geographic reality that a network of powerful elites is actively trying to erase from the continental record. Silas is now following his father's instructions to redraw the true map of reality before the gatekeepers make it disappear forever. Walker's trilogy delivers a sharp thematic warning. A map drawn convincingly enough becomes the reality people live and die for. We navigate invisible lines every day. In our world, historical land surveys have been replaced by digital algorithms, data profiles, and hidden terms of service. As you navigate your own life, ask yourself if you are walking on solid, objective ground, or simply following the artificial lines someone else drew for you. Always question the map. If you're ready to solve these puzzles yourself, check the description for links to the Thorne and Lionus trilogy, and subscribe to the Robert Walker Bookshelf for more deep dives into the science of storytelling.